everyone, welcome back to Ormsby Farm. My name is Casey. So, y'all, this is the final video on Every Bit Counts Challenge for the month of August. We're going to talk about all of the stuff that I preserved in this final week. And as promised, I'm going to give you a pantry tour so you can see how much that we've done over the month of August and what still needs to be done. So let's go ahead and get into that intro so we can get started with this video.
I'm coming home.
Alrighty, so this was the final week of Every Bit Counts Challenge. Listen, y'all, I have had so much fun doing it, and I have for the past 3 years that I've done it, because it really is a great opportunity to not get overwhelmed and be sure to preserve, whether it's can, freeze, dehydrate, something every day for the month of August. And this was hosted by Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead. I adore her channel. She is a wealth of knowledge. So after this video, if you have not checked her out, first of all, where you been? But go ahead and I'll leave a link up there so you can head over to her channel. But also, if you're enjoying these videos, I hope that you're pressing that subscribe button so that anytime that new content drops to my channel about the pantry and about prepping, that you get notified. I hope you do that. So go ahead, go ahead, click that button. All right, now we can continue, right? So I joked on Instagram that this final week was kind of like my juicing week. And it's true, because I juiced a lot of stuff. And if you follow the past couple of videos that I'll leave up here too, of week 1, 2, and 3, I talked about that we got about 227 pounds of pears this year from our pear tree, and then I was gonna do some fun different recipes. Listen, we've sold a ton, I've juiced a ton, I've canned a ton, eaten a ton, we still have some left over. This is how we started the week, is with pear cider. Now, it's just like apple cider. Actually, the recipe that I use is apple cider, but I use pears instead of the apples. And it is so good. It's so simple. Now, like all my other videos, I will leave an overlay video on top of this if I have footage of me prepping the item. We got super busy towards the end of the week, so some of them I don't have video for, so I do apologize for that. But pear cider, I keep the skin on also. That's where a lot of the nutrients for the pears. So I keep it on. I wash them, of course. I wash them and I cut them off of the core, and then I'm gonna put them into a big, deep pot, stock pot, and fill it with water. I'll leave the recipe of all the seasonings and the amounts down in the bio box below. But in that same pot of the pear and the water, I added in your standard like apple pie seasonings, cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg. I think I did a little bit of sugar. Again, recipe will be down below. And then I bring it up to a boil. So once I bring it up to a boil, I'm doing that for about an hour. I'm letting it uncovered boil for 1 hour. And then once the hour's up, I'm going to reduce the heat to low, and I'm going to cover it for 2 hours. When I tell you, my whole entire house smelled amazing. It smelled like the holidays. It made me so excited. And it made some beautiful pear cider that I could use either cold or hot, or with adult beverage added, without adult beverage added. And of course, we used our 4-jar lids. There's always a link down below if you're interested in getting 4-jar lids, because listen, canning season is over. Just because this collab is done does not mean that the canning stuff is finished. But how we like to use it at Ormsby Farm, you know, I did a couple jars last year. I didn't do many because I wanted to test it out. But what we like to do is we like to heat it back up, kind of like a hot toddy, and add in a little bit of whiskey or bourbon to it. And it's like a holiday hug. It just wraps around you and is wonderful. So this year I did about 8. And I'll show you in our pantry where I have all of my juices and my ciders. And this will be great for when church friends come over, or farmers market friends, or family come in for the holidays. It's a great kind of recipe to toss in a kettle, heat up, and serve it. Especially when it's nice and chilly outside, which is not right now. But yes, so the day, I can't even remember what day it was that I did it, because our whole farming schedule has been lately with the Labor Day weekend and farmers market. So this was the Friday. No, this was the Thursday, excuse me. And it's so good. So I'm so glad that we have this set away. Listen, if you do it and if it starts to separate, like the sediment will go down to the bottom, it's fine. Give her a good shake back up. I'll even show you with some of my other juices. They do that. You could probably, with the cider or with any of the juices, strain them multiple times to make sure that you get, crystal clear juice. It don't bother me like that. So I do it this way. So cider was one of them. The next day, as I've talked about, is we have just so much tomatoes frozen still in the in our freezers, and of course I'm going to be canning them all throughout September too, getting them ready. But one thing that we wanted to do, since we were in the juicing mood, is Mom loves V8 juice. So does Brother Chris, actually, because when we do, and I think Marcus does like the V8 juice as well. So there's like 3 of us that like the V8 tomato juice. And really what we use it for, besides Mom does have it for breakfast, is it's really good for a homemade Bloody Mary, for a Sunday brunch, or for a get together, however you want to do it. And it's really good. It's from all of our veggies that have been frozen that we didn't know what to do with, or just wanted something super fast with. And basically what I did is the same way that I did my pears for the pear cider, is I'm gonna put the frozen whole core tomatoes in my pot. I'm gonna put some peppers, I'm gonna put some onions, all frozen, and we're gonna fill it up with water until it just covers all of the vegetables. I'm gonna bring it to a boil for about maybe an hour like I did before, and then I'm going to blend it. And what I did when I blended it is I kind of made it kind of like the consistency of my salsa. That's when I add in whatever seasonings, if Mom wanted seasonings, into her V8 juice, because this was kind of her batch, which she didn't, not many. I think we put a little bit of salt, but not much. And then I'm gonna stir it, and I'm gonna let it sit on the boil again for like a half hour to get all the seasonings marinated in. And then what I did was I was cheater, pumpkin eater kind of thing, and pulled out my juicer. And I'm going to then ladle the hot, like, salsa-ish stuff into the juicer, and then it will juice out the pulp from the juice, which is what we canned right here. All of the stuff that was juice, that was kind of like the gunk that was left over, the skins and the pulp, were given to chickens or pigs, so they did not go to waste. And same thing with this, y'all. If the sediment drops to the bottom, it's okay. Just give her a good little shaky. And of course, we used our 4-jar lids as well. I finally got to use some of the wide mouth ones, because I bought a bunch of wide mouth and regular mouth, but I've noticed that a lot of my jars are regular mouth, so I had to order some more. But I was able to use the wide mouth ones for the V8 juice. And this is good. Again, I don't drink it, but it will be good for Mom or Marcus or Brother Chris over the winter, so that they can either have some V8 juice for breakfast, or if we're having a brunch or dinner party and we do Bloody Marys, we can use this, because it's a lot healthier than buying the stuff at the store. You're gonna get the same kind of taste. And it makes you feel a little bit better to know that you grew all of those veggies that are in the V8 juice. And I'll tell you, it did smell good. I just don't drink it. Next day, I had about 2-gallon bags in the freezer full of muscadine grapes. We have some dear friends in the area where we live. That's an older couple that's always called, and we're like, hey, we've gotten all the muscadines that we want for this year. Do you want to come out and pick the rest of them that are on there? Because there's a ton. And we always graciously accept. And so these were the grapes from last year that I had done nothing with. And I was like, you know what? I want to make some, you guessed it, grape juice. And I did a couple quarts last year and I really enjoyed it. It's a very distinct taste. It's not going to be like the Concord grape juice that you get in the store, but muscadine grape juice is very, very good. It has a little bit of a tartness to it. And so what I did was the same way that I do the other ones. It's kind of like the quick version of juicing. And as you put the frozen fruit in there, you cover with water just until it covers all of the fruit. And basically I brought it up to a boil for an hour, and then it drained the grapes of all the color and the juice. They popped open, and that's how we got this really pretty grape juice. And you know, I think it did like 4 quarts, which is great because I'm the only one that really drinks grape juice in here. Nobody else really wants the grape juice. I enjoy it for breakfast. And so it was a win-win. I get to get stuff out of my freezer and I get to can some juice up so that I can have some juice for breakfast. Or if I want to add it to a little fruity cocktail during appetizer hour or cocktail hour, I have them now. So again, are you seeing the trend that we're going with here? Juice, juice, juice. Well, don't you worry, I'm not about to disappoint and switch it to something else for the next one. But the next one we had done on our podcast, Around the Hay Bale. I'll leave it right here. We had talked about Rebel canning. And anybody that follows me know that I am a Rebel canner. And one of the things that we've talked about is canning in half gallon. And a lot of people do it. Because it's an easy way to shake it up, put a little pour lid on it, and then have some juice that you've juiced over the winter for breakfasts, so on and so forth. And I'm not going to shake this one up yet because I'm going to show you the how the sediment drops. But I went ahead and juiced a butt ton of pears. I even juiced it with the skin on. Now listen, it was a lot messier to do it that way. Got the same amount of juice, and I did juice it twice. So after I put them through the juicer, I went ahead and then put into a little tub all of the skins and all that kind of mushy stuff to give to pigs and chickens. But I also poured the juice that I had already gotten back through the juicer so that I could try to juice it a little bit more. And that, you'd be surprised how much gunk it got out that time. Again, if you didn't want pulp and that kind of stuff in your juice, you could always filter it by using let me grab it, the strainer that comes with the 4-jar funnels. It's great to put right over there. It catches all the gunky monkey, and then you can get all the juicy woosy that comes out this way. I have done that. I did that for the barbecue sauce. I did do that for the V8 juice. It just didn't bother me to have pulp, a little bit of sediment in my pear juice. If I'm feeling bougie that morning and I don't want it, I could juice or I can strain it before it goes into the glass. But as I was saying about the sediment dropping, you see right here, it's okay. It's okay. All you gotta do is give it a good old shaky, shaky. And then it's back to what the juice is looking like. Other things that I use, and it's heavy, y'all. Other things that I use the juice for, if I don't drink it just as plain juice, which is very good. Our pear juice is very good. We got to try a little of it before I canned it. Is I'll pour out 4 cups and then I'm able to make a jelly, a pear jelly from the juice, which we still have some more pears, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to be doing that, but I'm going to do the cheater pumpkin eater kind of version, which is filling it up with water. This time, all we really did is we took the cut up pears and I put it right through the juicer. I thought that was going to be the quickest way. I was a little bit wrong. You know, I have been known to be wrong every once in a while, not very often. So I was able to do that, but I will probably do some more of that so we can have some pear jelly. But yes, pear juice, we love it. It's so delicioso. So, final kind of moment of doing the Every Bit Counts challenge. It was Labor Day weekend. I didn't get much done at all because we are slam packed at farmers markets. But what I wanted to do was 2 different types of brandy with the pears. So this first one that is sitting, now it is sitting until about, I'll probably strain it in October. And that's what I call my pear pie brandy. I did it last year. It was a huge, huge hit. Okay, so what I basically did was I put in the peeled raw pears. I did cinnamon sticks. I did nutmeg, and I did allspice. So your regular apple pie, pear pie seasonings. Pour it right over the pears, and then you're gonna pour your brandy right on top until it covers it, and you're just gonna let it sit. Cool, dark place. The recipe recommends 4 months. I usually do it 2 to 3 months, and then I strain it. So basically what I'm going to use, my 4 jar and my strainer, and it will strain out the stuff, and then you'll get some beautiful brandy that I'll put back into the bottles where it came. And then we'll have a delicious after dinner drink of the pear pie for when people come over for dinners and all that kind of stuff. When family comes in town for the holidays, this will be a great kind of addition. But I learned a new one too from my dear, dear friend Sandy over at Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. And that's why it's called Sandy Brandy. And this was, we were actually talking about it while we were shooting the podcast. And she told me about one that her and her husband Joe did right before he retired. And it was, you know, the really soft caramel chews, raspberries and pears. So that's what I did. I got some raspberries, I got some pears, and I got the little caramel squares. I may have accidentally eaten a couple of them, and put that in there raw, as you can see, and then you pour the brandy over the top of it. Same kind of thing. I'm going to be straining them in probably the end of October for the holidays. Back into the bottle, and I'm really excited. I did so I did a full gallon of the Sandy brandy, and I did a full gallon of the pear pie, because that will be a really nice after dinner treat during the holidays, like when you're looking at your Christmas tree, or you're getting ready for Thanksgiving, or just visiting with friends. So I'm excited. So y'all, before we wrap this video up, as I promised, I am going to give you a tour of my pantry of how everything looks. There are some empty spots because while the challenge has ended, preparation does not end, the canning season does not end. There's a couple things. Once I get in there, I'll talk more about it, but broth was one of them. Meats, canned meats will be coming up soon because we'll be processing our meat birds very, very soon. So let's go ahead, and I'm gonna put all this stuff back on the shelves, and then we can head into the pantry. And let me tell you how that thing has been working so wonderfully. But I'm gonna be having it open, so it probably is gonna get a little bit warm in there. But we'll put a fan in and it'll cool everything down. But let's go ahead and head into the pantry. All right, y'all, so we're in the pantry right now. Again, I have the light turned on. So you may see the temperature climb just a little bit, but I'll cool it off once I'm done kind of shooting everything. I'm gonna flip y'all around. As you can see, where I'm really happy with how everything is stacking up. There are a couple spots right up top up there, the little empty spots, is because I'm gonna be canning some more soups. This is for some more meats. I'm gonna have some more chickens because, as you can tell, we do enjoy the chicken. Definitely more broths when we do our processing day. For the ones that we will keep, I will probably cut off the bone into the pieces and do a big batch of the broth. So that's why this is empty. But everything else is pretty much well stocked. So let me flip you around and we'll go kind of row by row and talk about what it is. Alrighty, right here is gonna be all of my jams. Again, I talked about it on the video that I just don't go through that many jams in a year. So that's why it's so small. But with the jams, I also have, we did in one of the weeks, we did the beer mustard that would be good for pretzels and brats and that kind of stuff. And we did some cowboy candy. So this is all different kind of jams and mustards and that kind of stuff. And then we're going into right here, the peaches and the pears, all the ones. I think I even have, oh yeah, it's over here. The peaches and blueberries. I use these for cobblers over the winter. And for desserts, I did that some in water, some in syrup. Then we got some apple sauces over here. We got apples from last year that need to be used up pretty soon. And then all of the pear pie. I have a pear pie, I have apple pie, and I have pecan pie in a jars. All right there. And then my friend Alicia over at Country Mama Musing, I did these last year, and these are the red hot apples. So you put them in a syrup with a little red hot candy. I don't know if you can see them in there. And they're a fun kind of yummy treat for that. Underneath there is going to be all of my beans. We did it again on some of the week videos, but I have kidney, I have black bean, I have baked bean, and I have pinto. Right next to that is all of my water glassed eggs that we're going to start breaking into pretty soon. And here are all my juices. So the ones we talked about today, I got my ciders, got some grape juices, I got some apple pear. Here's some pear. And these right here are because I'm going to do some pear juice concentrate in the pint so that you can add one of these to a jug and add water, and then you got the juice again. Going up, staying on the juice kind of routine, these are all the V8 juices. We got some apple barbecue sauce, and we got some sauce that I've done last year that we just didn't go through. So we're going to use them up this year for spaghettis and all that kind of fun stuff. Pretty stocked up. Staying in the tomato realm, we got my Rotel. We love this during football season to add with some cheese powder and hot water, which I will show you, and make a cheese dip. Here we go onto the salsas. As you can tell, I have one more batch of salsa to do, and then we'll be a-okay. These are all of my barbecue sauce that I've done on one of the weeks. It's a vinegar-based barbecue sauce. It's so delicious. So that will be exciting to have over the winter. Back in the back, we got the pot roast in a jar. We got coleslaw. We have egg rolls in a jar, which we've done those. They're so delicious. And then we got the carrots. I got corn. And then we start on all of the pickling stuff. So I've got the garlic and onion pickled okra. Got regular pickled okra right here. We got all the pickles. We didn't have that great of a cucumber harvest this year, so we didn't get much, but this should last us throughout the winter. And then I have some of the marinades, the pickled jalapeno. I did some pickled asparagus as well. And then our relishes. So this should last us pickles really throughout the winter until next spring when cucumbers come back. Up top, higher than that, we got all of our taters. You know, I love pressure canning potatoes. It's very easy. Drain the water, put it in the air fryer, and you're able to have a side that's quick and easy. Here's some potatoes and cabbage, and then okra and tomatoes all the way in the back. This is kind of mom's area because, you know, none of us really eat this but her. So this is her little area, which is right beside the broths that we have left. Not many, but again, I'm going to be doing a bulk one on that very soon. Then up top higher is all going to be, I think I have a couple hot sauces and wing sauces here, but mainly it's diced tomatoes. We'll get diced tomatoes, diced tomato, and it's about 4 deep up there. So diced tomatoes we're stocked up on. These are going to be our soups in a jar right there. I'm holding y'all up high if you can't hear me, but love our soups. This is some dehydrated stuff, and even higher than that is more dehydrated stuff all the way at the top. Let's see if I can tilt the camera. There we go. Cake mixes, powders, all that kind of stuff. So all of our dehydrated and our extracts, lemon, orange, almond, vanilla, homemade extracts. And then this is our meat. So all of our chicken, we'll have a ton more of that. And then I have the taco meat chicken and taco meat beef for when we want easy, quick tacos. And then, of course, all the way at the bottom are going to be my 5-gallon buckets of beans. I got the spaghetti squash that I got to put on a shoe rack so it doesn't dent each other. There's the brandies. And more of my 5-gallon buckets. Those are the jars that I talked about that we'll pour the brandy back in. Right there. And then just a ton of extra jars. So y'all, thank you so much again for following me these past 4 weeks on the Every Bit Counts Challenge. Thank you again to Jessica for hosting it. It really has been such a ton of fun. I hope that you are liking and subscribing and pressing that bell icon so that you know anytime that new videos drop to my channel. And then go ahead while you're there and follow me on social media. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, all at Ormsby Farm. And I will see y'all on the next video. Bye, y'all. Be blessed.
I'm coming home.